Everyone, welcome back or welcome to Growth with Soph, my digital diary where I share everything health, fitness, lifestyle, everything I have learned and continue to learn along the way. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And with all of that being said, today's video is quite a vulnerable video for me. It's something that I have been for many years almost ashamed of and almost scared to reflect on and talk about. But I feel like putting it out there is gonna, I hope it's gonna inspire and motivate someone else who might be struggling with their body, their mental health, with their fitness, to know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. I'm really fortunate now to have put a hell of a lot of work into myself and to go through some really difficult patches to now be in a place where mentally and physically I am doing really well and I'm really proud of myself. And I think it's now time to share my journey and hopefully, yeah, like I say, help someone else who might be struggling right now to know that you can move forward and you can get through whatever it is that you are going through. Let's start from the very beginning. So, as a child, I was very active, just like most kids are, to be honest. I went to dance, did swimming, we went and played football in the park. And as a young kid, I never really thought about food, exercise, my body. I remember when I was about 11, I um and started high school. That was when I first became aware of my body, if that makes sense, and how it was perceived by other people. And I had always been a naturally slim kid, just that's what I was built like. I was really short and really slim. And people did comment on that in a bad way, but people did make observations. People were like, "Oh, how can you eat that much and be so little?" Like family members, friends, and people would make those comments. And when I was about 11 years old, I gained a little bit of weight because most girls do when they start puberty, and that is something that you don't really get told about or told that it's actually okay and that your body will change at that time. That really affected me because I didn't realize, but my whole identity in my mind was very tied to being the small one, the skinny one. Like, that was how I'd always been kind of perceived by other people. I was very self-conscious at that time. I just started high school. I was trying to find my feet and fit in. So that was a really difficult time. And it was around the beginning of high school when I began to not eat enough food. I began to restrict my intake. I lost weight really quickly. And I ended up developing an eating disorder. I ended up food, over exercising, doing a whole load of cardio workouts, and things like that to just try and burn off my food. I was viewing exercise in a really disordered way. Now I view exercise as a way to strengthen my body, help my body grow, help keep myself healthy and happy. At that time, my relationship with exercise was very bad, and my relationship with food was even worse. So most of my teenage years, so from the age of literally 11 till 16, it was incredibly a traumatic time. I was struggling with my mental health a lot. I went through really bad periods of being very physically unwell. I was hospitalized for almost 2 months one summer. This is just a reminder as well. I want to just say, if you have struggled with an eating disorder or your mental health and you haven't been to hospital for it, that doesn't make you any less valid. And yeah, I just really want to preface that it's a mental illness, not a physical illness. So I really want to stress that just while I mention it. But yeah, it was a really traumatic time. I was going to the hospital on a weekly basis. I was in counseling and I went through a lot of different relapses. So I would gain the weight, but my mental health was still really bad. I had no confidence. And so I would restrict again, relapse. And that was kind of just a cycle that went on until year 11 when I just decided frick this, man. So it wasn't that easy, but it really wasn't that easy. But my mindset changed a lot. I did a lot of work on myself. I started doing yoga around that time. Like slowly started getting back into exercise through yoga, and that was really pivotal for me. Yoga was something that made me realize like moving my body is not a punishment. It doesn't have to feel like a punishment. It can actually be really lovely. And I love yoga so much. I still do. I don't know what I'd do without it. It's the best thing that I ever did. It was literally like therapy for me at that time. Um, and yeah, I was doing a lot better. I don't really want to go into any great detail about the specifics of my mental health and my eating disorder as a teenager for two reasons. One, because they are incredibly competitive illnesses, and I don't want to share any really specific details because, like, people might compare themselves, and I really just don't want to open up any room for that. And two, as I say, it was a very traumatic time, and it's something I'm still trying to process, and learn from. So I will discuss it maybe a little bit in more depth in a future video, but that isn't what I want my content to really be about. It's a part of my journey, and it's part of my journey that I don't want to ignore. It's part of my journey that I've learned a lot from, but it's not who I am. It's not my identity, and it is not who I am now, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I recovered a lot mentally. I gained back a lot of confidence. My body was in a much better place. Felt pretty good. Um and that went on through college as well. I was doing really well in college. Like by this point, I my eating disorder was a thing of the past. Like mindset wise, my body, that was something that I'd been through. But obviously, I still struggled with my mental health. I was doing yoga and Pilates through college. Um, I started doing Pilates workouts with like little dumbbells as well. So I got some like mini dumbbells, and I started doing Pilates with them, and that was really cool. And that's maybe where my interest in weightlifting began, which I now adore. Um Water break. So the 2 years that I was in college, I was doing Pilates and yoga as my exercise. I was walking. I was feeling really good. My body was healthy. And then left college. I didn't know what I was doing, didn't know whether I was going to go to uni. I was really stressed out. I got my results back from my A levels and they were not what I wanted. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I was under a hell of a lot of stress mentally, and I was also working a really physical job at the time. I was on my feet all day, and that was just a perfect storm. My mental health was in tatters, and yeah, I was just really struggling, and that took a toll on my physical health. So it wasn't that I was restricting, and it wasn't that I'd gone back to that. This was unintentional, like weight loss and strength loss and energy loss and poor mental health. I was incredibly depressed, incredibly anxious, incredibly burnt out and tired, and that took a massive toll on me physically. I lost a hell of a lot of strength and muscle, and I had no energy. And this was just added to the stress that I was under at that time. I wasn't doing my yoga, I wasn't doing anything for my mental health. I was just in a bad place. I felt really uncertain about my future and just felt awful, basically. I was absolutely devastated about my A level results and I just was neglecting myself. It was around January time that I decided enough is enough. This has gone on too long. I cannot live my life like this because if I had have just carried on in that depressed rut, I just I don't even know where I would be right now. But I decided no, I need to pick myself out of this. I need to prioritize my health, mental and physical. I started to try and rebuild myself up mentally and physically. So I started trying to gain some weight and no energy, and it was horrible. And I was freezing all the time. So I decided, no, I need to gain some weight. I need to have energy. I need to start doing things I like. So in January, I was looking for a new job and I found a new job. I started doing yoga again. I started gaining weight. It was a really difficult thing to do, to try and prioritize my mental and physical health when I was feeling so low. I had to force myself to do a lot of the stuff that I needed to do. I needed to force myself to get out of bed, have drink my water, eat enough food. And it was around, I want to say April, that I decided to join the gym. And it was when that I joined the gym and started weightlifting that I really, really started to commit. Like, I'd been here and there with like my weight gain and prioritizing my health and trying to get strong. I'd been doing it, but not to the extent that I needed to commit to it. I was like, no, I'm gonna give this my all. And I started eating a lot more, like a lot more food. I started strength training, and those two things together have just been life changing for me. I've gained muscle, and yeah, I started weightlifting. I've been doing Pilates and yoga alongside that. And it's just, as I say, been absolutely incredible for my mental health, my physical health. Like, when I think back to where I was in December, I was really underweight, I was really unhealthy, I was really depressed, I had no energy, I was just neglecting myself. And when I think back to my teenage years, when I was struggling with my mental health and I was struggling with restriction, to where I am now, where my mindset is just so much better. I see weightlifting, yoga, Pilates, this active lifestyle that I love to live. It genuinely makes me so happy because it's just, I see it as something that makes me feel so good and strengthening my body and helping me to grow mentally and physically. And don't get me wrong, like, I still have days where I struggle with my mental health, but my fitness journey up till this point has been really challenging. And now I am on my lean bulk journey. So I'm trying to gain muscle, gain weight, and feel even stronger than I do, and just have fun with it, basically. I'm just trying to have fun and, yeah, feel strong and good and happy. I'm really fortunate to have got to a position where I love food. I eat loads of food. I love exercise. I love moving my body. Um, and yeah, that's my journey, basically. That's my journey up till now. My goals, as I say, are to gain weight and muscle, feel happier than ever before, feel stronger than ever before, and hopefully become a personal trainer and yoga teacher and Pilates teacher, fitness coach, and help other people who are struggling or who have fitness goals, health goals, life goals to achieve them and feel good and grow mentally and physically. So they're my goals. My journey is nowhere near over. I still have ways to go, and I'm really proud of where I am now. And I'm just having fun on the journey, getting to where I want to be, and just trying to become the best version of myself that I can, really. And hopefully, it's gonna inspire other people. So that's my journey. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it gave you something to think about. And if you are struggling with your mental health, your physical health, even if your journey is totally different to mine, your struggles are totally different to mine, your goals are different to mine, just know that you are so capable of getting through hard times and doing hard things. And I would love to go on the journey with you. So if you want to grow like I want to grow mentally and physically, then make sure to subscribe and let's carry on this really exciting little journey together. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.